Everyone. Hey, it's Monday. Good morning. This is the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. But it is 7:15, so it really is late, and I can't really use it as an excuse because it's not the weekend. And sorry about that. But this is 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show, and this is episode 301, one day after our 300th episode. And we talk about Scrum and Agile in a tactical, practical way to try to get you home to family and friends and out of your caves. Bring more value to your customer in a lean, efficient manner so you're not working 60, 80 hours a week to do so, and maybe turning off the volume on your cell phone so it doesn't go off. That would be a good thing, right? And have some fun along the way, right? Balance that work and life. And we got some videos up there just having some fun when you get home, just to get out and do something different, even if it just takes a little bit of time, just to spice it up a little bit and just have some fun. You can do the same thing at work. So I got two things to talk about today. One, I want to talk about trust, and part of my schooling with the Scrum Master I talked about over the weekend, dealing, how long it took the person to gain trust for the team, like 6 months. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, and what that is a sign of. And then also went to a webinar on Friday about working from home, stressing. And that one lady made a really good point, and I think I mentioned her before on Thursday, but I want to mention that again. And I had to figure out what I do with my notes on it. But something about boundaries and setting up boundaries for work and being successful. And I a couple notes that I had written from that event that was really good about setting those boundaries. I want to talk about that because I got a double take on that, especially giving up power to others. If you don't set boundaries, you're basically just giving up power of your lives to others. So let's talk about that a little bit. And I know it's a difficult subject, it's hard to do, but we'll talk about it a little bit. Okay, so trust, right? So my Scrum Master talked about taking 6 months to gain trust, right? When you're in an organization like that, and the organization takes you forever to gain trust, there is such deep pain in that organization, and it's screwed up. Everybody has been trained by the organization. I guess they feel intimidated. They got to do it. They wait for everybody to tell them what to do. That's a natural bottleneck. That's so anti-lean. It's ridiculous to wait for other people to tell you what to do before you can do what you need to do. You lose so many hours in performance on that. What happens if something goes wrong? What do they do? Sit around and wait for everybody to tell them what to do the next day or something like that if you're overseas or even in the United States? It's a waste of money. I'm going to be frankly honest with you. I'd be pissed if it was my money. And I guess some of these large corporations don't care because it's not their money. It's the customer's money. It's the investor's money. It's everybody else's money. So I really don't care whether or not they sit around I'll hire 100 people and they can sit around for 2 hours and I'll get 5 hours worth of positive work out of it or something crazy like that. But I'm amazed how many organizations are financial companies, but yet they don't run like a financial mindset where it's about making money and keeping people working and effective, right? But when you have that, you have to work on that trust factor and you have to get it fast. 6 months isn't enough time because most people who do Scrum Master and Agile coaching, it's a contract job. 6 months, it's 6 months plus you get the extension after the 6 months. So really they're looking for a 6 month turnaround. So it's kind of a weird thing if they beat the organization so bad that you're going to transform them. But some places it may take 6 months for people to gain trust. You're never going to get production out of the group. You're never going to get there. You got to get that trust early. And sometimes I'm sorry to say, sometimes you got to break it, right? You just got to tear it down to nothing, kind of like an alcoholic, right? Or a drug addict, right? That's a really bad simulation, but it's true. It is true. It's kind of like dealing with drug addicts, right? Drug addicts, sometimes you can't help them. Nothing you can do can help them. And until they hit rock bottom, it just crash, then they want help. And that's what those organizations like. They have so drilled it into their mind that it's like a drug addict. They can't let go. They don't know what to do. They're in the world. They don't know. They don't know. Their mind's this basket case because everybody's telling them what to do. They're going back and forth. They don't know what to do. Stop, right? The whole idea is to stop, which will lead into our next segment. But you gotta, sometimes you might have to tell them you're doing it wrong. They may not like to hear it, but if they don't hear it, they're never going to stop doing what they're doing. Maybe that's my style. Everybody else, oh, I got all this time. I'm like, no, you don't. You really don't. And because they're losing money and they're going to all be unemployed because they're not producing, or they're producing such a way that it's costing a fortune to do. It's better for them in the long term to get them to stop what they're doing and have them work right. And I just want to share that with you because you got to you got to get that trust barrier. You got to break it down and then show them how they can be successful because they're used to everybody telling them exactly what to do. And waiting 6 months to get someone to trust to do it the right way is be honest with you, not acceptable. You can't beat them into submission, but you got to tell them they're wrong and then work with them to build them back up. And the idea is you got to get them down quick as fast as possible, not kill them when they quit, and then build them back up. Right? It's part of the beast. Just something I want to tell you about that trust factor. But you got to do it sooner. So the other thing, how does that go? So with the trust factor, right? And getting the realize they're doing it wrong and what's going on. So during the seminar we had, I want to say it was a really good episode. It was a good thing. And then a couple of things from working at home, which really sets it. And this is giving up everything to everybody else, right? Just like a drug addict. You're giving up your life to them. You're giving your life up to the drug. And a couple of things that said about minimizing stress in the home. Setting up attitude boundaries, temporal boundaries, and what matters you do first, right? So you got to set up these little boundaries, like an attitude, like when you go to work, get dressed up in a shirt and everything. Don't be all whatever. Get your mind focused like you would a normal job. Don't be in your sweats and your PJs. Some people, yeah, they're in their PJs. I mean, yeah, you're going to do it every once in a while, but most of the time you just want to get in that mindset of I'm here to be professional and go to job. Temporal boundaries, setting your time. How much time you're going to spend on a thing, take a break every so many hours, get up, walk around, whatever. But you got to set those boundaries up. And I'm going to come back and finish that in a second. And then what matters most to you. And we talk about that too, prioritization. When you are working from home, you have to figure out what are your priorities and balance those priorities because you're going to get phone calls, text messages. You know, we talked about in a previous episode about social media, Slack, and all that kind of stuff that you have to be mindful of wanting give someone a response within 15 seconds of them sending you a message. You don't do that. You don't do that in life. You don't do that at work, right? It's not how it works. And then the last thing I want to set up, because it is a Monday, we're late. I had to go take care of the kids, and they all woke, for some reason, they're all up at 5 a.m. So they want their breakfast, they want their food, they want everything set up. Yeah. So I was kind of like putting barriers, little blockades. My fault for not getting up at 4:30 a.m. before they did. But that'll be another talk episode. We'll talk about that in another episode. But the last thing about the temporal boundary, and one of the things she said, because she was talking about managers sending emails on the weekends, and one of the gentlemen on the thing said, well, you know, I feel like I want to answer that email, and they get all these emails at 2 a.m. in the morning or over the weekend and feel like I got to reply. And if I don't reply, my manager's going to feel like I'm not contributing, you know, and you're giving up power. And she says to you, well, why do you let them send you emails on the weekend when you're off? Why do you let them send emails to you at 2 o'clock in the morning? Why are you accepting it? Why are you allowing it to happen? You don't have to. right? And that's giving the power to the other person control your life, right? I thought it was a great point. And she just, bam, she hit the guy, right? It wasn't a soft sell. Oh, that's okay. You could work it out with your boss. She says, bam, just like we're talking about, trust. Is like, why are you giving up your weekend? Why are you allowing them to send you messages to develop that dependency on you to send that message? Why are you establishing that threshold? So it goes just like to Agile. If we set boundaries, and that's a Scrum Master, and that's the team on like every sprint planning, we put new work in. We don't really do a lot of new work unless it's a bug or something's broken and the production's down. Then you do it. Otherwise, it's the next sprint planning session. Why are we giving up? Why are you giving up control and power to others when you control your own self? Some people won't get a job. Trust me, developers or anybody worth any good that can code will get a job. there's nothing going to, especially, come on, the whole pandemic, everything got shut down. Everything's digital. You don't think they want more digital programmers to code all this stuff? Either they're real companies that want to establish have been woken up that they need coders and digital, but they want to do it less expensively. I don't know what else to help them out with, but don't give control. Don't give everything. Don't give the power to others to rule your lives, right? But it was really good. She just went bam, just shocked the heck out of the whole crew. Everybody was like, she's like, well, why do you let him email you on the weekend? Why do you accept it? Why do you respond? Why do you turn on your computer? I was like, yes, it's exactly what it's supposed to be, right? Just frankly truth. I mean, you may want to hit them like that right away, but you need to get there. You need to get there sooner than later. The longer you extend it, just like a drug addict, the longer you let them, they're going to be hooked on it. And they're going to hook on it and think they can do it all the time. So the longer you give them that drug, the longer they stay hooked. So, and it'll be harder to wean them off of it, but you got to wean them off. Sometimes you got to go cold turkey in your organization. Sometimes you as an individual have to be cold turkey on not responding to those emails. Anyway, you're like, thanks, Greg. What a Monday. Talk about drugs, and I'm a drug addict, and I need that. Oh, sorry. But it was something I wrote in my book because I wrote it was on a Monday, and it's a good point, right? So with that, hey, happy Monday. Some of the people are off. I am putting out the interview. I finished it on Sunday, got approval from the guy who did the interview. He looked at it, he said it was good. So come Friday at 9 a.m., we will post up one of the interviews with Scrum Masters. I am going to reach out. If anybody wants to do an interview with me and do some Scrum Master stuff, get their name out there, please feel free to message me on LinkedIn and let's do it. So I want to do it again this weekend with somebody, or this week sometime, and get some more interviews in. All right. Thank you. Thumbs up. Share it to everybody. Let everybody know. Let me know how you like it. Ring the little bell if you want notification of where we're at and what we're doing. And again, we post phone stuff up too, that, put a little light attitude towards Scrum and not the same old, this is a burned down chart. So have fun. Happy Scrumming. Enjoy your work week and stay healthy. Have fun. Bye. See ya.